Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's Coaches Call. Sorry we had to change the date, but in my scheduling, I didn't account for the Scholastics, the Youth Nationals, which was an interesting tournament, and I have some good kids coming up, so it was good to watch. Hopefully, you guys got a chance to watch it. Let me get this chat going. So, I hope you guys are all having a good week. I as I always do, I want to talk about basics and fundamentals when we start coaching. That it never it never ends. The importance as I see players get better, not just in judo in all sports, that their basic and fundamentals is what gets them all the way to the top, and focusing on their basics uh, is what keeps them on top. And there's a great and next month I'll show this one. There's a great video of Kobe Bryant talking about when he's asked about his greatness. He says he concentrates on his basics, always concentrating on basics to make his game as good as possible. It's no different than any sport, individual or team sport. Your role and how you execute your role has to do with your basic fundamentals. As you get away from that, it makes it, it's harder to play the game the way you want to play your game. So it's really important, and I do that with my beginning athletes, my intermediate, and my advanced athletes. We always go back to the basics. Making sure we're grabbing correctly, making sure we're moving correctly, making sure our kazushi is correct. Constantly, not every day, but constantly going over balance, strength, and agility that relates to judo. And it's just good to practice it. And your good basic fundamental drills that got you to where you are is not something you want to forget about. As time goes on. So it's important to focus on it. And I have some videos at American Judo, and I certainly have more videos in my private collection. If anyone has an interest, you could. And as always, any extra questions or anything you have an interest in discussing that goes further than just a chat, please send me an email, and I'd be happy to call you and discuss it if I could help you with your judo, your students' judo, or your program. At American Judo, we do focus on passing on our knowledge the best we can, to everybody. So feel free to email me at steve@americanjudo.com, and I will set up a call with you and hopefully be able to solve your problem. Most of the time, I'm able to do that, but please feel free to email me if you have a question about how you're running your program and what you're doing, and if you're focusing on the right things. Just recently, I had a coach come up to me and was showing me things he was doing, and again, he was making the mistake of not focusing on the basics. And you know, uh, it doesn't matter how sophisticated you get if you don't have your basics down in and continue to practice and develop and make sure. And if you have developed your basics, that you continue to practice it. There's no sport where you don't have your athletes, whether you're hitting a baseball, hitting a tennis ball, a golf ball, whatever you're doing, serving in volleyball, that you're not being watched by your coach to make sure your movement is right, your position is right, your shift of weight is right, all those things, your stance is correct when you start. All those things matter, and being off just a little bit will affect your game. And judo's no different. Judo's no different. The other thing that I try to teach my kids, that they don't look at judo as a game. They look at it just completely differently, and it's got to be taught as a game, so we know, as we're playing the game, where are we in the match? What's the landscape? How are we? where are we relative to our opponent? Do we know where we're standing? Do we know, where if we're in a strong position, a weak position? How do we do it? We always want to engage to get into a strong position. We do not want to be engaged and be in a weak position and continue fighting, because that's a recipe for disaster. So all those basics that you want to continue to go over with your athletes, so they don't, so that they're not making mistakes. One of the things, let me see if I could get this going here real quick. I guess I am. I'm looking for one specific video that hasn't uploaded yet. I apologize. And as soon as it does, I'm happy to bring it up to you. It's something I definitely wanted to show you. A lot of there's just a lot of strength in judo today. Just a lot of strength. A lot of the judo players of today, and again, they were always strong. I mean, the people I fought were strong. My pleasure. So the people I fought were strong, but it looks like there's so much strength and power in judo today. And not that it's bad or good or indifferent, it's just the way it is. And we're watching these guys get in these locks, and they're picking up, and one guy's up in the air, the other guy's up in the air. You don't know who's going to win the engagement. It's not the judo I grew up with, but it's the judo of today. And we're going to watch some of it, and we're going to see some good classic judo too. Let's see if I can find this one more video that I definitely wanted you guys to see. No, can't get this yet. There's a reason I wanted to show this to you, because it starts the basics. Here, let's see if I'm done here. Oh, it's at 99%. We'll leave it go for now. So we're going to go watch some videos. We recently, my insights into let's see what this is. My insights into the difference in practicing judo as a sport, martial art, and a philosophy, and how it relates to. Oh, any insights? Yes. Since I don't know for your first name, I'll call you Care. So when I talk to people and I work with people that and help them run their judo club, and I work with people and help them start their judo club. The people I help start a judo club, I give them an option. Do you want to run your judo club like a cultural judo club? I grew up learning judo in a Buddhist temple. It was cultural. I know that there are lots of clubs that are cultural judo clubs, and there are clubs that aren't. And they don't follow the culture of the way you bow in, the way you treat your gi, the way you treat the dojo, all things like that they don't treat it with the culture that I grew up with. Cleaning the mats every single night, walking in, your gi is clean. Every student's responsible for their own gi. You do not drag your obi on the ground, things like that. Now, there are dojos that are like, more like wrestling rooms, and the gis are thrown on the floor. Sometimes the belts are dragged. It's different. It's not my kind of dojo, but there are a lot of dojos that I support that do that, and I don't criticize. Whatever works for people works. But for me personally, if you're going to get the benefit of judo for your students, the cultural side is the way to go. You teach it as you can call it a sport or a martial art. There are clubs I work with that do not compete. They have no desire in competing, but they're learning good quality judo. They're learning technique. They're learning how to do tachiwaza, newaza. They're doing randori. Their techniques are really good. And that's, I mean, I consider that a sport. Or maybe it is a martial art in that way. Not self-defense martial art. It's judo. So I, I think it's a choice you make, and I think that if you're going to get the benefits of judo for your students, that's the humility, the respect, the work ethic, the culture of that, that respect that that you have on and off the mat that you learn in that culture of judo, and the work ethic that you learn that not only helps you in judo, it helps you at home, it helps you in school, and as you grow up, it helps you to be a better citizen. Judo has a great benefit to offer. I don't think it's marketed that way, and if it was, I think we would do a whole lot better in the United States. I mean, we should be adding at least, we should be adding between 30 and 50 judo clubs a year. And there was a time there were judo clubs all over the country, in little towns all over. There were tournaments every weekend. Judo was big at one time, and it just isn't that way anymore, unfortunately. We have a couple really big tournaments, and other than that, they're small, they're tiny. So it's not like it once was. But again, the philosophy or culture, as I call it, is something that I think has brought judo down. And I think the more you teach with the culture, the more you're going to get out of judo for your students, for the parents, and the more you're going to grow. The concentrating on winning at a young age, I don't like. I don't do it. I understand that this is a sport and sports are competitive. Judo is a competitive sport, but the way I look at it is that if you have a student that comes into your dojo 3 times a week, and that's 12 times a year, that's 12 times a month. You're at 144 times a year in your dojo, and what they fight in 10 tournaments, maybe. So I mean, the tournaments don't matter. You control the culture of your students in your dojo. And for me, and I had a competitive dojo, but still in our dojo, it was cultural, and I promoted on effort, not success. So whatever happened on the competition mats, you came back in the dojo. If you came there, you were on time and you worked hard, you were rewarded. And if you were go to the tournaments and win all the tournaments and didn't work hard, you were not rewarded. So how you came, how you practiced, how you carried yourself, how you followed the rules, which in my dojo wasn't an option, that was how you got promoted. And that's how you got not only promoted in rank, promoted in the dojo. You did the bowing in and bowing out. You ran the warm-ups. You got to do things that your peers saw that they wanted to do also. And that's what I mean, where you control the culture of the dojo. Now you get to the point where you got the people that are winning want to work harder because that's the culture, that's where they want to be on top. It's nice to win the tournaments, but again, my dojo, we practiced 5 days a week. We were in the dojo 250 times a year. So I mean, the kids wanted to be leaders in the dojo. So they worked the hardest, and that helps your better athletes, and it helps the people that maybe aren't such good athletes and they love judo, and they can be competitive, not by being better in judo necessarily, but by being better students. So I think that the culture of judo is what's important. If you're starting a new club and you want to grow your club, and I think that if you have a for-profit club, parents will pay for that. They're going to see the difference in their kids. The kids are going to be better at home. They're going to get better grades, and the parents will see it. So I think there's lots of reasons to do it. But again, that's my personal feeling. about how I run the judo club. I know the people I grew up with, even that I'm older than, whether it's Jimmy Pedro, Jason Morris, people like that. They run cultural judo clubs. There's levels of it, of course, but I mean, uh, you're certainly not gonna throw a belt on the tatami at one of the clubs. Yep. So I mean that's my thought on that, and I feel pretty strong. And like I said, not everyone I work with runs their dojo that way, but the people I start run it that way because that's how I prefer to run the dojo. Let me see if I can get this one video finally. It's okay. Here we go. Thank you. Okay. So this one video I wanted to show you, and then I'll go through we had two competitions. We had a Grand Prix and a Grand Slam this last week, 2 weeks, and some good judo there. Some good judo there. I've got some good videos from there, but I got one video. I didn't have time to get more from this juniors, but one of the things I wanted to show you is that when we're learning judo, we're learning the basic fundamentals. How do we grab? How do we stand? How do we move? How do where do we place our hands? All those things that are important. But one of the things that I have difficulty, with kids that aren't doing that I teach that I am not under complete control of is their stance and how they stay in their stance. You can look at people getting thrown in judo and you can see them square up. Now sometimes they square up because they're knocked off balance with an attack and they got to regain their balance. And at the higher level, that's what's happening. They're using a lot of ashiwaza to knock their opponent off balance to lead to another attack. To lead to another attack, which is good. That's the way you want to do, and that's advanced judo. And again, we should be working with our kids, teaching them ashiwaza over and over again, constantly doing ashiwaza. Do it in your randori. Practice it. You should be sweeping every day as part of your warm-ups so that you get the feel of how to do a foot sweep and develop it because it's important. It's important. And just because of that, I'll tell you that maybe on my members call, I'll do ashiwaza again, even though I've done it before. I've gotten more videos of ashiwaza that we can use. But here is an interesting match. Let's see. I've got this match up here, and let me move it up here because we'll see. So we have two guys, two young kids in from the United States. This kid Daniel Lima, who's really good, up and coming, and I've watched him since he's a little boy. He's a really good player, and we have high hopes for him. And he's fighting up. He's a cadet, and he's fighting in the juniors. And here's a junior. This is the young man in blues from Kitsusai, and the other kid in white. He's from Israel, but he's at Chuck Jefferson's club, and Chuck is an excellent coach. And just watch. Now, blue goes forward. He throws forward. He's very good. He does sode. It's German's dojo. That's what they do, and he does it really well. So we'll see how white is not gonna go forward, and the only time that he goes forward is when he steps around the technique and tries to counter him. Really good, and we'll see. And this match is not that long, but we'll see that when he does lock in, and he knows that the sode is coming, he's going to walk around and try to. So now he's got it tight. When the drop comes, he's going to walk around. You see how he's not moving forward? Stepped right around and did the sumi, which is a nice move. Didn't get a score for it, but you saw how his body was turned, right leg forward, left foot back, and he would not move that left foot forward. He would not move that left foot forward. and he's just really careful about getting the right grip to stay in his position. And we'll see it right here how he's just not going to move forward. Right foot forward, and the first chance. And look how far Blue is leaning back. And there he gets him with an Osoto that turns into a Harai. And it's just a good example as we watch. Just we watch when he grabs. He's got that right foot forward, the left foot back. He stays there. He does not come forward. Does not come forward. So aware that he's not going to be bringing his left foot forward. It's just a really good example here that he knows his opponent's going forward. He's not going to do it. The only time he comes forward is when he baits him into the throw and steps around him. And here we see it at the end here that he's going to just not give him a chance to go forward. So keeping his body turned takes advantage of him to the rear. Very nice. So I thought that was worth showing just to see how just simple, basic stance. There's great drills that I like to do. Yeah, athletic posture. You can call it a judo position, athletic posture. But I mean, you cannot square up with a good judo player. He's going to throw you. Good judo player is going to throw you forward without a doubt. And I mean, I don't know how to play judo any other way. I don't know how to teach it any other way. But I caught that example. I was just happened to be watching that division for a couple reasons, but nonetheless, I caught that. So let me find some cool videos here from this week. Did I label any of them? Not enough. Here's a nice. I like this. I love Taio. Japanese girl takes a cross grip and just steps into a nice Taio. Nice Taio. Look, turns both shoulders all the way in. Look at the Kazushi. Let's see if I can get this here. I can. So look at her turn. Look at her turn her shoulders all in one move. Look at this one move. Look at that. You can see her right hand. You could see her right hand pulling out. You can see the Kazushi. Look at that Kazushi over there. That's just a nice Tayatoshi. Really like it. Really like it. Let's go back to the beginning here. I love the turn. Here it is. Of course, the girl's squared up. Look at her square up. Bam, Taio. Nice move. Nice move. So here's just a nice Osoto. Two big guys fighting, and look at this. Hooks the leg, drives. Doesn't give up that leg. Look at that. Nice Osoto. I'd like to see big men do Osoto. Look at him. He's going to keep that head, keep that tight, one of the things that I want you to watch is that you just can't see it here, but look, he's got this arm pinned to his body. The arm is pinned to his body right here, keeping that leg isolated. Down. Nice throw. Nice Osoto. Nice Osoto. Let's see. Here's an old favorite of mine, Fonseca. Look at him do that cross. He does this cross sode. That's Osoto, cross Osoto. So look, grabs the sode, pulls forward, and changes directions. Oh, I've got that video too. But watch again how he forces the reaction forward and backward. Can you see that? Watch how he pulls that forward, pulls that sleeve forward, and then he goes in the other direction. Like watching that. Like watching that. Does that really, really well. Really well. Okay, let's see if I can go in order now. So here's what there's such athleticism with these guys, such athleticism. It's great. Nice sode there. Just a nice sode. See if we see it again. Oh, here it is. So TOUR, I guess, must be Russia now. This is the Georgian. That's at match 4. Let's go. Let's see where we're at here. So here, this young Israeli who took a gold medal was really impressive. Really impressive here. I don't know how old he is, but he was impressive in this Grand Prix in a gold medal match. Here's what I wanted to show you here. So here, and here is, he's up by Iwazari. So he's taking time off the clock. He's so aware. And also he knows he doesn't have any Shidos on him. Once he, oh yeah, the drop set, we'll see that in a different video. We'll look at it closer, the drop Sanagi. But watch how aware he is. Now there's 12 seconds left. He's up by Iwazari. He's got no Shidos. He's not going to engage. Why would he want to engage now? He's got 2 Shidos to give. He's aware. He's aware. Look, all the way off the mat. He'll get his first Shido. He's got another one to give. He's got another one to give. 5 seconds, 3 seconds. He doesn't have to engage. Match over. Wins the gold medal. And gets 2 penalties. He had 2 to give.
Searching for gold medal content. I found some interesting options, including Sergeant York,
Alexa,
gold from
stop.
2020.
Sorry, guys. So the idea of playing the game, okay? We when we teach judo, there's the physical aspect of judo that we learn, and then there's the game of judo that we learn. And it's important that we teach both. You know, we need to understand, just like whether it's baseball or football or any other game, we have to know how to play the game. It's important to learn how to play the game, and we have to teach it. And there's drills that I do and different situations you can always do, you know, and that's something we could talk about another time. But the idea is that we have to teach our kids how to do judo correctly and then how to play the game correctly. And I've seen it where people have wonderful technique and can't play the game really good, and they end up being they're average players. And I've seen people that have good technique but not great, but play the game really well, and they could be Olympic champions. So I mean, you got to teach the game. Another nice Osoto. Nice Osoto. So it's interesting when you watch Osoto, and I don't know that I hear it taught as much this way, but you need to bring this hand into your body. You're not pulling it across, you're bringing it into your body. It isolates this leg. Pulling it into your body. Nice Osoto. Nice Osoto. Love that. Love that. Let's see if this is the one. Oh, no, this is. Look how interesting this is. So this guy, so here, we're watching this is Lima from Brazil. He's an Olympic medalist. He's hard to fight. Oh, that's not Lima. I'm sorry, wrong guy. Look at this throw. Look at this throw. I don't even know what you call this. Look how he takes his outside leg, and look how he trips someone out of their leg. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. I don't know that I've seen this before. Maybe you have. I haven't. Look how he gets that back leg. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting. Just crazy. Look at that move. Looks like he's done it before, but I've never seen that. One thing about judo that I love is that, again, I think that I'm not happy with the rules today for a lot of reasons, and certainly we can talk about that. But judo evolves. People are innovative. They're just innovative, and I just love that about judo. Looks like a soccer technique. It may have been. I don't know. The people are innovative. The athletes. That's why I used to love to go to the junior worlds and watch the young athletes fight because they were real innovative. It's wonderful to watch when you see things that are new. Now I don't know how to teach that, nor do I see that position often. But that was pretty innovative. That was interesting. Look at this. It's like an uki-otoshi. Look how he just sticks his leg out and throws him with the turn of his body. Look at that. My God. I mean, my brother used to be able to do that. Throw you with just his hands and his body. But I haven't seen this. This is this is nice. Look how he steps behind and rotates his body. Look at that. I love that. That is great. That is great. I haven't seen that in quite some time. Like I said, it's like an uki-otoshi. It's like Nagi no Kata. Pretty impressive. Where are we at here? So it's just such a muscle sport, judo. Look at this. Look at these guys going. I mean, when you think about it, at this point, it looks like blue is going to win the match. It looks like blue's got him, and now white reverses and throws him. God, these guys are so strong. Look how strong they are. God, nice. Very nice. Just good judo. I mean, it's different, right? My preference is to see a really good Shimada or Sanagi or a foot sweep, but I mean that's judo today, and it's impressive. Nice Koshi Guruma. Well, grab the belt. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Nice Harai off the grip. Nice Harai. Look at this Harai. Nice turn. God, I like this. It's really nice. You break this down. Watch. Oh, God, that's that. We'll get past that. Watch the Kazushi and the look at that Kazushi. Look how he starts his throw. Look at that pull across his body, locking the upper shoulder, and now he's just going to rotate his body. I mean, that's a good Harai off the grip. I like this a lot. Rotate. Look at the rotation of his body. Beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at great athletes. I call them mat athletes. We can call them whatever we want, but they're fantastic. It's just amazing what good athletes these guys are. It's just amazing. And again, it's not the judo I like to watch, but it sure is exciting. It sure is exciting. Let's see what we got here. Watch this. I love the Newaza transition. Here we go again, and here comes an Urigatami, which you can't see now. You'll see it from the other side. It's nice. I thought it was an Urigarami, but you'll see it here as he comes around. Watch. He's there. Now watch, he's going to straighten that arm out. Whoa. Nice move. I wasn't expecting that. Let's watch that again. Gets the belt. He's got the arm. He's looking for a turnover. Looks like he's, maybe looking for a Cuban roll, and we don't see what's going on. We just don't see. But watch it from this side. We're not going to see him lock. See, we don't see him locking his gi. Watch. As soon as he gets that, as soon as he straightens that arm up, he's got that Urigatami. And look, let's watch again. That's what the sportsmanship in judo is just so wonderful. With certain minor exceptions, it's always great. And here he had to put a hard arm bar on a guy, and this is a combative sport. Watch, he wants to make sure he's okay. I just love that about judo. I just love that about judo. Because he put some good pressure. He's got that arm is locked in that armpit. It's locked in the armpit. Nothing he can do. Yeah. And again, what does judo do for you, right? What does it do for you? It teaches you humility, sportsmanship, respect. And that's what you see at the highest level of judo. You've got the toughest of the toughest athletes. They respect their opponents. It's wonderful to see. Do I have anything here? I don't. We'll see what this brings us. This may be, let's see what I have here. There's the Sayanagi. Let me see if I could find that Sayanagi. I thought I had it. I guess not. I guess not. But that Ukiyo Toshi is just wonderful. It's just wonderful. So I see as judo evolves, and I don't know how they're going to change the rules, going forward. I certainly, I'm not happy with the way they call yukos. I mean, there are so many debatable calls. Someone falling on their face with a little turn on their side. I mean, I would like to see a yuko be a clearly on your side, nowhere on your stomach. I think that a yuko should be that your stomach isn't touching at all, but that's not how they're calling them now, and it's very hard. It's hard to judge losing a match by falling on your stomach. So I have a hard time with the yukos. The other thing I have a hard time with is there's just a lot of double sleeve judo going on. I just I don't like it. I don't like it. It limits what your opponent can do. It's holding off, and it just ends up being a lot of drop sode from there. And while you can do good techniques, I'd prefer that grip to be limited, just like a cross grip used to be, that you could hold two sleeves for only so long, and then you've got to engage on the lapel, or whether it's a high grip, lapel grip, even a cross grip, I'm okay with. But the two sleeves seem to be, defensive and not many options with it. From my perspective, not that you don't see people that can do a sode, an osoto, an ochi, but I mean, as a rule, I see a locked in on both sleeves, and I just don't see that to be positive judo. And again, that's me, but I don't. I don't like it. I don't mind the grip for a short period of time, but I do mind it for long periods of time in a match. So hopefully they do some hard thinking before the Olympics and make some changes. Like I said, there are certainly so many debatable Yuko calls that I see, and matches won a golden score on. That I mean, if you're on the majority of your stomach and your side hits or your hip, but your stomach is down, I mean, you got to be headed towards your back, I would think, to some degree, for it to be a score. I mean, it's a great conversation to have. I'd love to have it with with somebody, but I mean, the I just think that the Yukos are being given out too easy without Tori actually getting their opponent turned. So that's my thoughts. Just a note for the people that are on or people are going to watch later. I will be doing an interview with Brian Olsen, four-time Olympian, bronze medalist in the in the Olympics. Brian's been in judo obviously a long time. Know him since he's a little boy. Great judo player, great guy. He's involved still. He loves judo, but like many of our judo friends, the jiu-jitsu seems to be a better way to go if we're going to have a for-profit club. And he's got a big, beautiful club, but he doesn't teach much judo, but he certainly has a lot to say about it. Great judo player, great guy, and hopefully you'll be able to tune in for that. And that'll be planned for next month. I don't know. So for the rules, if they're going to do anything, you're going to see something after the Worlds. I hate changing rules the year before the Olympics. I hate it. So for sure, they're going to do something after the Olympics. And I don't know what they're going to do. And I haven't talked to Neil in quite some time. I communicate with him, but don't talk with him. I'd love to talk with him about it and see what he sees and what the what the word is. But I did a podcast with Jason Morris about the rules after the last Olympics and what our thoughts were. So I know their goal is always to make judo better, but I don't think this makes judo better. And certainly, again, their thought is for the spectators, and I don't see the spectators understanding someone falling on their, being thrown to their stomach and losing the match. So I'd like to hope that they can clear that up and make it a little more, I mean, if you're on your side, that's how it was when we first came to Yukos. Your butt was a coca if you were on your side. You had to be on your side, or on the side of your back to get a Yuko. Your stomach was not a score. So we'll have to see what happens. And again, I'd love to talk about it. Maybe I'll talk to Brian about it when we do our interview. So for those of you that I appreciate the questions and your interaction. Car, I'll call you Care. I appreciate it, and I hope you continue to join. And you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And I'll see you soon on the members call. Join in on the members call. I said again, I made the decision today. We'll do Ashiwaza again, and I'll have some new videos, and we could talk about it some more. So thanks for joining, and again, have a great rest of your weekend. You guys.